Ladies and gentlemen, how are you? Good to see you all. The microphone cut in and out when we started. Of course it did. How are you all? Good to see you. Let me turn up this a little bit. Angela says, hit the like button on the way in. That would be very kind of you if you did. Diane's here. Diane, uh, she says, Ko-Fi confused me, but I think it went through. I did get a Ko-Fi from you like 15 minutes ago. I really appreciate it. That is very kind. People like Diane help keep me on the air 7 days a week. So I appreciate it. Cakesboo, hey, how are you? My friend Peekaboo Cockatiel is here. Rachel is here. Good to have you. Laura T, Marilyn Landis, Gambler made it. JDR's here. Sean, my friend Moonshadow. Who else? Evil Alaska. Legal hunting? Hey, legal hunting. I know. I hope you're all having a great, a great long weekend. No Monday-itis. Got to sleep in on a Monday. Diane. Yes, thank you. I appreciate it. It's very kind. Who else? Sherry's here. Shad is here. Legal hunting, I think I said before. Diane, the other Diane. Hey, the other Diane. All right. No, it's a finance company, so I'm gonna call it Ko-Fi, which is like co-finance. Like what do they call it? Like something fi. Like SoFi Stadium. You know that one? Like in the LA, SoFi Stadium. Hey Wendy, how are you? Good to see you. Never. I will never call it coffee. It is always Ko-Fi. Hey Blaze, how are you? All right. Let's get started. Where is my link? All right, let's start with the military one. Let's start with the military. We got so many stories today. It's. I thought it'd be like a long weekend and everyone would be having fun, but no. People seem to be going missing and all sorts of things. Okay, search is underway. All right, let me play this video, then we're going to talk about it. Let me get the video on. Hey guys, how are you? Good to see everyone out there. I see you all in the chat, talking away, typing away. Okay, let's watch the video.
The desperate search continues for a missing 23-year-old Camp Pendleton Marine.
Bailey Cameron has been missing since last Sunday. His mother says he was at a bar on the night of his disappearance, and surveillance video shows Cameron leaving the bar alone after 1:30 a.m. His mother says a few of his belongings were found just a block away the following day, and police and military officials are part of the search, and the NCIS has also been notified.
So as a father, the hard part is running hundreds of scenarios of what could be through your head. You know, we have footage of him, we have a photo of him after he went missing, but there's been no contact, there's been no communication with buddies or family. We don't know if he's under duress, we don't know if he's 100% or not.
Loved ones are asking anyone with information to speak out and help bring Cameron home.
Yeah, hoping for a good outcome here.
Hello, I'm Mark Brown. Get more.
All right. I have some more information that goes along with this, okay? Let me tell you about it. Now, he's from Camp Pendleton. He's a Marine. You know, that's not a good thing that he's missing. It says here he's been reported missing according to Captain James C. Starton. Cameron was reported missing on Sunday, I think it's last Sunday, to the Military Base Command, prompting an extensive search effort. Cameron was last seen Sunday morning around 2 a.m. outside the Coyote Bar and Grill on Grand Avenue in Carlsbad. After a night out, he's just vanished, leaving his family deeply concerned. He was last sighted in that CCTV footage wearing a black t-shirt and some jeans. But what is a little weird is later on, they discovered his backpack, phone, and sunglasses on a sidewalk not too far away from that establishment. That is weird. Why would his personal belongings just be on the sidewalk? It's almost like someone robbed him. Did someone grab him? It's a little weird. They're also saying here they're saying here that the NCIS has been informed, which is like the military police investigations unit. We've all seen the TV show. I'm just trying to see if we have anything else here. Yeah, they're stating that the local investigator from the Crimes of Violence Unit is actively communicating with both the U.S. Marine Corps and Cameron's family to coordinate a search effort to look for him. The NCIS has been informed of Cameron's disappearance, adding another layer of resources and expertise to the search. Authorities are urging anyone with information, if you've seen him or know where he might be, to come forward. Let me see if I can find that CCTV so we can watch it in full. But it's a little strange. After a night out of drinking, he dumps all his stuff and then or someone made him drop it and then just took off. Very, very, very odd. Yeah. Let me go to ABC LA and see if they have some more information here. What is it? His mother says a few of his belongings were found just a block away, so not too far away from where he was last seen. Yeah, that's it. I want to see if we have this CCTV. It's concerning that they've notified a violent crimes investigator. I wonder what they think may have happened. It is, I don't know why you would call that if you thought someone ran away. I don't think you would. I think you would, you know, you wouldn't be doing this type of thing. Okay, here, let's go to the US Sun. They have some information here. What does this say? No. It says here he was stationed at that Camp Pendleton, California, but hasn't been seen since August 25th. All right. There's that footage. There's him in the black t-shirt and the jeans. And that was the last moment he was seen on the camera. So he must have left and gone out the front. Let's see here. There's a black and white. A lot of people around. A lot of people. You're talking what? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Probably at least 30 people surrounding him in this one frame of video, including what looks like 2 bouncers who are in front of him. If you look just north of him at the top of this circle, there's 2 guys in black shirts wearing baseball caps. I'm guessing they're security or, yeah, bouncers basically for the bar. I would suggest that there's probably a lot of witnesses. But where did he go after he left this place? That's what I want to know. There's a photo of him in his full attire when he was a bit younger. It is a little odd. I don't know the area very well. Carlsbad. Let's have a look. Let me see if I can find anything about that bar, Coyote Bar, for you. Let's have a look. All right. 10 News. Yeah, not a lot of places doing the story, which is odd. I would have thought this would be all over national news. Really did. This is from 10 News.
I'm Madison Weil here in Carlsbad, where the desperate search for a missing Marine continues. Loved ones of 23-year-old Bailey Cameron on Friday are passing out these flyers in town. They shared with me why they still have hope that they might find him.
So as a father, the hard part is running hundreds of scenarios of what could be through your head.
The father of missing Camp Pendleton Marine Bailey Cameron printing out flyers with photos of his son.
We printed a few hundred of them. We're going to be taking them to the areas where we know Bailey, frequented.
Bailey has been missing since last Sunday when he went out in Carlsbad Village. Surveillance video shows Bailey leaving Coyote Bar and Grill alone just after 1:30 a.m. What's unusual is his family says his phone, eyeglasses, and backpack were found the next morning on a curb outside Vigilucci's, an Italian restaurant about a block away. But no one has heard from him since.
It's not normal behavior. And that's what has his buddies and his family worried.
A Marine Corps spokesperson told us search efforts are underway with local commands as well as with local police, hospitals, and NCIS. Bailey's father says they believe Bailey may have been spotted at a business in the area wearing the same clothes as when he disappeared.
We have footage of him. We have a photo of him after he went missing, but there's been no contact. There's been no communication with buddies or family. We don't know if he's under duress. We don't know if he's, 100% or not.
What he does know is that their family won't stop searching until they bring Bailey home.
As a dad, I don't care what the situation is. I just need him back.
Now, we did reach out to the Marine Corps as well as Carlsbad PD about this new photo suggesting that Bailey may have been spotted. As of right now, neither agency has confirmed to us where they believe Bailey might be.
It's interesting. It's not like, do you think this would be like an AWOL type of case that he doesn't want to go back to work or to serving? I wouldn't think so, right? That doesn't look like it's that type of investigation where they think he's just made a runner. Let me see up here. They're saying he was reported missing. Yep. His parents say then they found his phone, glasses, and backpack the next morning outside that Italian restaurant about a block away, but he was nowhere to be seen. His father now believes he was spotted at another business in the area wearing the same clothes he had on when he disappeared. We have a photo of him after he went missing, but there's been no contact. There's been no communication with his buddies or family. Why won't they give out the photo of him later rather than the one on the CCTV? They said, we don't know if he's under duress. We don't know if he's 100% or not. He admitted that he was not behaving normal that night, and that's what his buddies and his family are worried about. Not behaving normal. In what way? They're saying here, the Carlsbad Police Department Crimes of Violence Unit handles all missing person cases for adults within the city. So that explains that. They said the family has checked into hospitals and, jails and the cops. No sighting of him. They said they are still reviewing CCTV and other camera footage to try and track down where he might have gone after leaving this place or the other establishment that they reckon he was at. I was just having a look at the map here of the area. I just want to find that one restaurant. Hold on. All right, there it is. All right, so he's up here. So this is that Coyote Bar and Grill right here. Where'd they say he went to after that? He went to the Italian. Here's the Italian right here. So it's not really a block away. The bar's right here, and the Italian's just across there. So it's not what I would consider a block away. It's basically across the other side of the this green area, not that far away. If they found his stuff up here, did he try leave the bar and get up through here and I don't know, someone jumped him? Because there's so many shops here, right? Look, there's another Italian over here. There's a farmer's market, different, shops at ATM. More shops over here. I mean, there's got to be more camera footage. Like, there's all these stores probably have CCTV, or at least most of them. Oh my god, there's a restaurant called Crackheads. Okay. What kind of clientele do they attract? But look, you got just businesses everywhere. And if he went up through here and they found his stuff here, I would have to think that there's more footage. And then there's a Carlsbad Village coaster station up here and a public restroom up a little further as well. Carlsbad Village station. So maybe he went up and then into here. It's not as far as I thought it was. I thought they were talking like they found his stuff like up here somewhere. Not he exited this bar and grill and just his stuff was found there. That's very, very close. It's not as far as they were making it out to be. I don't know. There's no water, is there? Marilyn said, I'm thinking of Riley Strain. No water around. Yeah, there's no water around. Hold on, let's have a look. There is a beach, but it's far away. Like, it's 3 blocks in the opposite direction. I wouldn't be thinking it's likely, but you can't rule out anything. There's no water up here, is there? No. There's a football stadium. Army, Navy, and the Warriors. So there's a football. But yeah, no lakes, no like, canals or anything. There's pools, like you can see there's like people have private property. There's one there too. There's probably more. But other than that, it's just literally just a corporate area, like, somewhere you'd go and have a drink or go get food or whatever. Cafes and stuff. What else is around here? Ramen. You can get ramen. There's Hooked on Pokey. Hey, you can get poke bowls. Yeah, I don't know. Interesting that they found his stuff away from the main road though. Like the main road down here, Carlsbad Boulevard, and all his stuff was found in the back streets, so sort of up here. I don't know. I don't know what to tell you except for it's a little strange. Here's the one that has to count. Are you guys talking about bats? Let me see what you guys have to think. Rachel says, doesn't seem like an AWOL case, but who knows? Not normal is pretty vague. Yeah, like, was he just depressed? Was he acting out of character? Did he have some sort of worries going on that were making him, not as communicative, like with people that he was with or whatever? I don't know. Was he not into the whole night out? It's hard to know. Not normal is a broad spectrum of feelings. All I can tell you is that I hope they find him, and I hope they release some more footage of him. Unless that second photo is the other photo. Hold on. There's that second black and white photo of him. I don't know if that's what they mean by that's a second photo or that's just a black and white version of the same thing. Hold on. Let's see if I can get back to that one link we had. No, I can't get back there, I don't think. Oh, no, here we are. So is that a different... Is that a different camera or just the same place? No, there's the guys with the hats. Wait, that's the wrong way. Go back this way. There's the guy with the hat there. And there's the guy with the hat there. There's him. I don't know. I don't know if that's the same place or it's supposed to be this other sighting of him. I'm not sure, but interesting that he left alone. No one went with him. Maybe he got roofied. Maybe it can happen to anyone, men and women. Yeah, let's go to KGTV. Maybe that's the affiliate that seems to be doing more of the story. Oh, that's News 10. Okay. Yeah, I would be I know it's a long weekend, but I would be hitting up those businesses around that Italian restaurant asking for more CCTV. Yeah, it was found in that area that I told you about. Hold on, let me just double check that was in the details. Yeah, backpack, phone, and sunglasses were discovered on a sidewalk nearby. So if it's on a sidewalk, then it's gotta be here. If I can, yeah. So on a sidewalk. Is there a sidewalk here? Right there. There's a sidewalk right there. Is there one on this side? Well, yeah, there is. This is near the Italian restaurant. The Italian restaurant's right there. That's at Vellucci's, Cucina, Italian. And there's another one there too. That's Via Vi, Cucina. So there's two right here, but somewhere around here, or that's not a sidewalk, but it's a road. But there's one there too. I'm guessing that's the only place it could be, or somewhere around on this corner, maybe. But yeah, look, you got businesses everywhere. Every 10 feet, there's a new company. So I don't know. I reckon we're going to hear more. We're going to see more footage in the coming days. Give it a couple more days. I hope they find him, but we're probably going to see more. All right, I'm going to leave it there because I literally don't have anything else to add. And I don't want to just sit here being boring. So yeah, if you're in the area, California, Carlsbad, or further, and you see that guy, call it in because there's a lot of people who like him and love him and want him to come home. Okay. All right. Let's keep going. I have another story, and we'll talk about the title story in a minute. But this one's pretty sad. It's about a gymnast, a female gymnast who was, award winning and all that type of stuff. I'm going to show it to you out of Fox 59. College gymnast Kara Welsh, 21, shot dead at Wisconsin apartment. They're saying she was a standout college gymnast who attended the University of Wisconsin-Whitewater, was shot and killed at an off-campus apartment over the weekend. Whitewater police said a suspect, identified only as a 23-year-old man, was arrested and charged in her death. They said Kara was a true warhawk, an amazing person, student, and athlete, according to the university director, Ryan Callahan. He said, "We are all lucky to have spent some time with her over the past 3 years. She was selfless and made everyone around her better." On Friday, August 30, officers responded to the 100 block of West Whitewater Street to investigate reports of a shooting and found Welsh dead with multiple gunshot wounds. Officers also found a 23-year-old man who reportedly knew her inside the apartment. The pair had gotten into an argument before the shooting. 21, man. So young. The suspect is being held in Walworth County Jail and faces the following charges: first-degree intentional homicide, endangering safety by the use of a dangerous weapon, and disorderly conduct while armed. Welsh was apparently a native of Plainfield, Illinois, and was a member of the Warhawk gymnastics team and won an individual national title on the vault in 2023. She was also majoring in business. They say here, "We know the news of Kara's death is heartbreaking for our close-knit university community. It is a time when we are all called upon to support one another, to process and to grieve." And that was their chancellor, Corey King, in an announcement. USA Gymnastics also offered its deepest condolences to her family, friends, and teammates. In a statement posted to Twitter, let me see if I can find a photo of her. This article has no photo of her, which I don't like. All right, here. 3 hours ago from CBS Chicago.
A powerful gesture from some Southwest suburban neighbors, remembering a college student killed right before her senior year. As our Sade Gray reports, those who knew 21-year-old Kara Welsh spent the morning remembering her in a special way.
These white ribbons behind me are on just about every single tree and light pole. It's the first thing you see when you drive into this quiet Plainfield neighborhood. This is how neighbors and friends are honoring and remembering Kara Welsh.
No words to describe it.
No words for Nicole Conrad to describe the loss of her childhood friend, 21-year-old Kara Welsh.
It's just sick. Like, I'm sick to my stomach.
The standout college gymnast died Friday night after a shooting at an off-campus apartment near the University of Wisconsin-Whitewater. Police say she was shot during a fight with a man she knew. A 23-year-old man is now in the Walworth County Jail in Wisconsin. Welsh was set to begin her senior year at UW-Whitewater on Tuesday. She was a standout on the vault, and according to those who knew her, so much more. Nicole Conrad and Sarah Torello are childhood friends of Welsh.
Taught me how to do a backflip on a trampoline. When we could, in my yard, when we could barely even speak, she was flipping around.
They've known Welsh since they were little girls. They grew up together in this neighborhood.
I don't know. I feel like she would just make a joke of this whole.
She'd be like, y'all are doing
whole
too
thing.
much.
Now friends and neighbors are spending their Labor Day coming together.
I'm so sorry, Nick, and I'm sorry that you had to come home to this.
It's a bad thing to come together on.
Her childhood friends say every memory involved Welsh.
My mom described her as a wild child. She was always full of energy. I don't know how.
You could never calm her down. She was always running around wanting to do something.
They say she was the light in every room, and that's how they plan to remember her.
The most you can do is just try and remember her in the most positive way you can, and tell her story and make people remember her.
We're told a vigil is expected to be held in Whitewater. As for here in Plainfield, they want to give the family enough time to grieve. Reporting in Plainfield, Sade Gray.
Let me show you some better photos of her during her gymnastics career, because she looks like she was on her way to superstardom, possibly with Team USA at some point. They're saying here the 23-year-old man has been charged with first-degree intentional homicide. Interesting that her name is released being the victim, but his name, being that he's older and 23, has not. And I find that bizarre. He's not underage. He has been charged, but no identification has been released for him. All right, here, I'll show you some photos. There's her, probably her portrait from her school. There's some, her with her team. She looked like she was having a lot of fun. Winning a lot of awards too. So it's nice to see the photos where they look happy. Oh, a championship ring. Isn't that awesome? Look at that ring. And there you go, probably from another competition that they won. So it sounds like she had a great career in gymnastics. If you check out that ring, holy crap. That ring was huge. They're saying here, she was considered a star athlete for her college, having won that national title on the vault last year. Her college team coach said in a statement, a phenom on the vault, Welsh holds 4 of the top 8 scores recorded by a Warhawk gymnast in program history on the apparatus. In addition to her high caliber gymnastics, she was a dedicated and supportive teammate. Her big personality and passion for motivating those around her helped her teammates succeed. It says here, yeah, she was just going to do her senior year at the campus. They're saying it's senseless violence, 100%. 21 or whatever, and dead by someone who shot her in her own dorm room. Ridiculous. Annoyed that her name is out and his is not. And I find that frustrating, that it's almost like we're protecting his identity and his family, but hers is all over the the newspapers, just because she was a gymnast. Hey, Snap Crackle Pop, how are you? Rachel says it should be public record, right? He's 23. That's what I would have thought. I would have thought his name would have been out first, because originally when I saw the story, the original article I saw yesterday said 2 found dead in an apartment building. It didn't have names, it didn't have her name, it just said 2 people no, sorry, not 2 people found dead. A person found dead in an apartment building. A person had been arrested over the thing. It was just very small, it was like 1 paragraph, and then it broke that it was her, that she was the victim. But, since then, I don't have a name for the male. Hold on. Maybe someone has leaked it. Let's see. I mean, I looked before and I didn't see it. Interesting. Yeah, a lot of people online talking about this right now, saying if it was an incident of DV/IPV, they said in a statement, one of the statements, an altercation with a man she knew. Well, that makes it some sort of DV. But they won't release his name. I find that very strange. I'm just having a quick look through here to see if anyone has any idea who it might be. Like, they must be known to each other, like friends of hers, and they must know who she might be hanging around or possibly seeing. I don't see a name, no. See, people are asking, does anyone know the name of the man who killed Kara Welsh? No one's been able to find a name, just that he's 23 years old. Yeah. No one seems to have a suspect ID. Hold on. You know how we might be able to find out? What town is this? What town is this? First degree homicide. Hold on, guys. I might be able to see if we can see who got brought in on a murder charge. If I can just find the actual suburb or what police agency is looking after it. Where's my other article? Okay, so it's probably Whitewater, right? All right, let's have a look. Let's see if they have a records request. Yeah, Walworth County. Let's have a look. Click here for inmate search. Okay. See if we can find a 23-year-old that was brought in on homicide. Might take a minute to load. These always take freaking ages. I know it's a long weekend. He may not be in the system yet. But we can try. We can try. Let's see if it loads for ping. Come on. It's loading so slowly. You have to invest in your infrastructure, Walworth County. Your website is very slow. All right. While that's loading, let me find this other article from ABC in New York. Let's see if they have anything. They're saying the Whitewater Police Department, a 23-year-old man that Welsh knew was arrested, so they definitely knew each other. Come on. The website's playing up. It's not giving me. It says error, connection timed out. Maybe a lot of people looking for who this person might be. Let's see. Yeah, while I try and do that, let's play this so you guys are not bored. Oh, that's a terrible video. There we go. So that's the scene, apparently. There's all the sheriffs and different police. I don't know why their inmate search is not operating. But there you go. You guys can see the scene of what happened. But no, look, the website is just not working. I'll show you. Site can't be reached, and then I'll reload it. Come on. Come on. No, just timed out. Site can't be reached. So it does not want us to know. Maybe because it's a long weekend, he hasn't been able to get before a judge because it's a public holiday. Could be. Might have to wait till tomorrow morning. Probably like 9 a.m. Tuesday. We'll find out. That could be why. But yeah, the website is not working for that particular county. I'll have to leave it, unfortunately. But if I do find out who that guy is, I will bring it to you. We will do an update as soon as I have it. Yeah, there's so many people online, other creators going, despite the suspect being taken into custody, no information about the murderer has been released anywhere. What is going on? So yeah, a lot of people are asking the same question about why that name has not been released, but hers has. And yeah, I can't get to their inmate website either. All right. If I find out, I'll let you know. If not, if it breaks and we're not on, I'll put it on Twitter too. All right, let's keep going. We've got so many bloody stories to do. All right, that one we've done. We did that one. We did Mr. Bailey Cameron. We did that one. Search underway. Yep, we've done that. We did Kara. All right, let's talk about the one in the title of the show. Really sad. I was researching this over the last day or two, and I don't know what people thought might have happened. They released some CCTV of the bridge and her going across it, and I saw some channels going, "Oh, someone snatched her from the side of the side of the road, or someone pushed her in as a bit of a joke, and then it went too far." But they're saying now that, as far as they know, there's no foul play in this woman's death, but they are waiting for a autopsy and more information in the investigation. Let me play the video and then we'll talk more about the circumstances.
I hope that the family can get some closure knowing that she's in a better place now.
Breaking news in the search for a missing North Fort Myers woman, Arielle Valdes. This is video from earlier today when the Lee County Sheriff's Office found remains believed to be those of Valdes along the Caloosahatchee River. Thanks for watching NBC2. I'm Alex Howard.
And I'm Alexia Chiropoulos. The Valdes family told us the last time they saw Arielle was 6:30 Wednesday night. The Lee County Sheriff's Office released this video from a traffic camera showing Arielle jogging over the Edison Bridge from North Fort Myers. The 21-year-old's body was found not very far from there.
NBC2's Samantha Serbin is along the Caloosahatchee River tonight for us with the latest.
It was a gut-wrenching feeling. Rain drizzling down as deputies went into the mangroves on the northern banks of the river here. Just a few feet in, they pulled out Valdez's body. Launching from Centennial Park, we hopped on a boat with LCSO this morning to help look for 21-year-old Arielle Valdes, who went running last Wednesday and hadn't been seen since. We were on the water not even 5 minutes when the captain got a call.
What was our clothing description? All right, hold what you got. Where you at?
Yep, in between the bridges on the west shoreline.
A few minutes later, a yellow body bag. Valdes found.
I hope that the family can get some closure knowing that she's in a better place now.
We spoke to Valdez's dad's wife this morning before the grim news. She told us how grateful she was for the help coming from all over the community.
She says that her heart is filled because she sees that the community is full of amazing people that have come together in this horrible time. And it just makes her feel like there is still great humans in the world.
Posters like this were plastered all over town, here at Centennial Park, at the gas stations, and even on lampposts. Family and friends were hopeful the 21-year-old would be found alive and just surviving off the grid. Unfortunately, that isn't the case, and LCSO does not suspect foul play. In talking with different folks today, we found out running was Arielle's way of dealing with stress. She was going through a bout of depression and had recently broken up with a boyfriend of several years. Remember, if you're struggling, you can always call 988. In downtown Fort Myers, I'm Samantha Serban for NBC2.
Extremely sad. Yeah, running by herself. And I'll tell you some more details. Hold on. Here. It says here that forensics haven't been able to verify her just yet, but they believe it's likely her. Members of the Lee County Sheriff's Office located the remains of a female while conducting a search along the river in North Fort Myers. The discovery happened after they recently released that video that we just watched from the county sheriff. They said here that she had been an avid jogger and was training for a marathon. To me, that's so sad. Someone trying to better their health, try and do something, obtain a goal, complete a marathon. That's pretty cool. And they unfortunately, I can't even begin to speculate what happened to them. I don't know how you get from a bridge to the water like that unless you suffered a medical emergency and tried to rest on the side and somehow fell in. I have no idea, but I can show you something here from the Lee County Sheriff. They say earlier this morning's efforts continued in the search for her. A wide range of LCSO assets were utilized on both land and sea. These included their marine vessels, aviation, multiple drones, and canines. And they said a short time ago, members of the sheriff's office located the remains of a female while conducting a search along the river. The remains are presumed to be her. Preliminary, there is no evidence to indicate that foul play was involved. Our major crimes unit has communicated with the family to provide the most recent update, and that they will work with District 21's medical examiner office for the remainder of the investigation. They said their hearts go out to her family in this time. Like you saw in that news thing, they were on the boat with the sheriff and then they got kicked off because they got a call about finding human remains in the river. So they booted the news station off the boat and then went over and did what they had to do. Let's see, where's that footage? No, that's not it. There was one with her. Maybe they've taken it down now, but they did have a. Oh no, here it is. So there's the original footage, and you can see her along that bridge. Let me see if I can make that bigger. There we go. So you can see that she goes there. Someone told me that they have more footage, and that's why they were so sure that she was in the river. So I don't know if that's 100% true, but I was told that they have much more footage of this, and that's why they only released this tiny little portion. Now, maybe they do. Maybe that's why they were fairly certain of where they should look. But you can see they stop the footage when she gets to the start of the bridge. It's quite a long bridge too. I don't know how long that is to run across, but looks like you'd be doing it for at least a while. Hold on. Let's see if we can find a video of that bridge. What bridge is that? Traveling southbound on US 41 from Pandela Road in North Fort Myers by her neighborhood. The Edison Bridge. Okay. Let's have a look. See if we can find a. Oh, that's a good photo. I wanted to see what the railings look like on the bridge. They're fairly big, like they're fairly substantial. Let me see if I can get like a closer photo for you. There you go. So you can see here, there's part of the bridge and the railing. It's like any other bridge or walkway. I mean, it's fairly tall. I don't know if that's how you get in or if you got down onto the riverside area and then, fell in or tripped or something. But I don't know. I don't know how you'd even get over this as a shorter person. Maybe she was hit. Well, they said no foul play. If a car hit her, they would say that was a hit and run, and that would be considered foul play. No, I don't think so. If that was the case, they'd be putting out a press release asking for a specific type of vehicle. Like I said, they only released very small amount of footage of her near the bridge. I think they knew more because otherwise if they thought it was a real mystery, they would have released the entire thing of her going across the bridge until the last moment that you can see her. But they didn't. They only released a very small portion of it, which tells me that there's possibly more footage that shows something that gave them a direction. All right, let me just check if that information, because I swear to God, I read somewhere that they have more footage. Like that's why they know what happened to her. All right. Not on that particular link. Let's go to the news press out of that area. They said, missing runner, body found in Fort Myers nearly 5 days after disappearance. They said went for a run, never returned, launching a countrywide search. They said there was a Facebook group made to help find her called Finding, Arielle Valdes. They said her sister posted a statement on Facebook where she's been providing updates. Isabella, her sister, posted the following update. Throughout the search, they've been posting updates and pleas for help from the community. She says, Ari, you were too good for this world. I love you and I'll see you again in every lifetime. You are a piece of my soul that I will always look for. Thank you so much for the love we have received from the community. Please give us privacy while we grieve our angel. They said the Lee County Sheriff's Office announced on Friday evening that it had launched a search for her. She'd left her home around 6:30 p.m. Wednesday, and they announced on Friday that, okay, the Sheriff's Office said she was last seen wearing a light-colored hoodie, gym shorts, and what appeared to be a black and white low-top Converse-style sneaker. And then they said here. Additionally, the sheriff said cameras captured her traveling south towards the Edison Bridge shortly after 6:50 p.m. Wednesday. On Monday morning, the sheriff said efforts continued in the search for her. Authorities said they used a wide range of sheriff assets on both land and sea, including marine vessels, aviation, multiple drones, canines, the forensic division, for purposes of utilizing their ANDE rapid DNA device, as well as the major crimes unit. They said here there is no evidence to indicate foul play was involved. The major crimes unit has, communicated that to the family. All right. That's it. She was found. No foul play, or at least not at this time. I would like to know how she got in the river, though. I I think I'm coming down with a cold. I was fine yesterday, and I woke up this morning, and I've been coughing all morning. I blame Mrs. Ping. She always brings home stuff from work, not good stuff like a cookie. She she brings home petri dish type flu and the cold. Yeah, I will. It's a bit scratchy today. Actually, it had been good for a while. I don't know if you noticed, but it had been good for a few weeks. I didn't have any issues for about, I don't know, 3 weeks, 4 weeks, something like that. Laura says not again. Yeah. It happens every year. Every year. There's nothing we can do about it. Because she deals with a lot of people and children, like, they pass on everything, and they always wanna hug her or talk to her or touch her hand or whatever. She gets sick frequently, and then I get it. Okay. I have 2 other stories. One about a couple of elderly, that's a bad word, I don't like that word. A couple of older people who went to Arizona and ended up being killed. And then I have another one out of that region, actually not that region, a different region, about a woman who killed her boyfriend with a chainsaw. So first we're gonna go to Arizona, and I wanna talk about that because I thought that would be nationwide news, but apparently no. No, no. They just put it on like one news channel in Arizona. No one really talks about it. It's all good. You know, a couple of older people got obliterated across the border, but it's fine. Hold on, I'll get it for you. Yeah, I'll get you this update from Fox 10 in Phoenix. Actually, we'll go to 12 News. That might be better.
Authorities continue to investigate the deaths of 2 Arizona sisters. While on the road in Mexico, the 2 were shot and killed.
12 News journalist Bianca Bono talked with an official at the Consulate General in Mexico here in Phoenix. She joins us live now in studio. Such a mysterious shooting and killing. So I'm anxious to learn more about it, Bianca.
Yeah, and thankfully we are getting some more information today. And so many Arizonans travel to Sonora, to areas like Rocky Point, on a regular basis. So ahead of what will likely be a very busy weekend there, we sought advice from experts on how you can stay safe. Tragedy striking near Arizona's southern border after 2 sisters, 72 and 82 years old, were attacked by armed men and murdered in Mexico. They were on their way to Caborca, Sonora, Mexico, Friday morning, heading there on a highway from the border town of Sonoita, ultimately found dead inside this white Nissan Pathfinder, which had been rolled over and was riddled with bullets. Authorities locating a stolen truck with firearms and ammunition inside, believed to have been operated by the attackers. The criminals responsible still at large.
We're very sorry for this. We weren't expecting anything like that to happen to anyone, not a Mexican national, not an American national.
Maria Fernanda Araguin works at the Consulate General of Mexico's Phoenix office. She says she routinely gets questions from Arizonans seeking advice on how to safely travel to Sonora. She says popular vacation destinations there, like Rocky Point, are safe.
It's better if you start early so you get to the place that you're going through during daylight. The second tip that I would say is to stop in public places.
Right now, the U.S. Department of State has issued a travel advisory for Sonora, telling Americans to reconsider visiting the area due to crime and kidnapping.
I don't know. If you tell me I can't go somewhere and drive around and that I have to make it to my destination by nightfall, I don't know if I want to go there. That sounds like something out of a horror movie. You have to make it to the house by nightfall, otherwise the zombies come out and you have to run. That's sort of what it sounds like. Yeah. She sounds so happy about it too, this woman. She's like, "Oh, it's fine. Come down here, spend all your tourist money." But don't travel during the night, and make sure you make it to your destination by nightfall. And make sure you go to public places where there's lots of people, and try and find someone who can be a human shield if need be. Danny says, I know at least 3 people who have been robbed at Rocky Point. Yeah. Yeah, this is not the first one. We had the two Australians and an American who were killed earlier this year in Mexico for no reason. Like, for literally no reason. All right, let's listen to the rest of this lady tell us how wonderful it is and why you should go there.
And to focus on the things that are going wrong. And there are a lot of things that are going well in Mexico.
Concerns over Sonora's safety are familiar to Mike Jarvinen and his wife, Linnell.
It's very safe, and my wife travels it 3 days a week.
It's part of what inspired Linnell to start their business nearly 20 years ago. Head out to Rocky Point, a shuttle service bringing groups from Phoenix to the beach destination.
She worked in Phoenix in the reservation business for Rocky Point Reservations and just heard the need of how to get down there. And people didn't want to drive their cars. And they're a little leery about the whole situation, so we just started it.
As Sonora's Attorney General and the FBI investigate the tragic deaths, looking to arrest the criminal group responsible, experts say there are ways to safely visit the area.
The federal government and also the local governments have been working so hard to get security through everywhere in Mexico.
And both Araguin and Jarvinen gave so many more tips on south of the border travel. We've listed those for you on our website, 12news.com. Guys?
Bianca, these were 2 elderly women. What else do we know about them, and why were they in Mexico?
Yeah, we have recently connected with a relative of these 2 sisters. They told us that they did have family in Caborca, so that's likely why they would have been traveling there. But guys, we've also learned that making matters even worse for this family, they had just recently lost one of the other sisters after her battle with cancer. So this family was already mourning the loss of one of these relatives. They were planning a service for her. We've learned that they've now had to readjust their plans, and on Friday, they'll be holding a service for all 3 of the sisters.
So they didn't lose just one of their family members in a horrific battle with cancer. They now have a double homicide within the family after 2 of them went and tried to go somewhere. Really, really brutal, horrible. Feel very sorry for their family. I mean, I like this guy here. Where is he? This fella. This guy just trying to protect his shuttle business, isn't he? You can hear him. He's like, "Oh, it's totally safe. We heard a need, so I made a business where we take Americans down to Rocky Point. All right, buddy, it's all right. People will still pay you. You don't need to go on the news and advocate after 2 people were killed. It's okay. We get it. You make money from it." Rachel says, "Not happening. You can make it sound as safe as you want. It is not." Well, when you look, it's a lovely country. If they didn't have the crime and the, homicides that they do, I think their tourism would be insane. It's a beautiful country. There's a lot of nice people, and it's a really sad that they have to live in such an environment where, I don't think a lot of people that live in countries like ours could really understand what it's like to have that threat of cartel and other things over your head, a government that is often corrupt, and elections are often rigged and things like that. But if they had more of, like, if it was different, I think their country would be a top tourist destination even more. Like, I think a lot of people would like to go there because the culture is great. They have some, lovely people. It's beautiful down there, but far too many people. I mean, we saw that we had the Australians, then we had that weird story from this year, where those people had gone into Mexico to get medication or plastic surgery or something, and they ended up in the middle of a freaking shootout. And you saw them like dragging their bodies across the road and throwing them into a friggin' SUV, and then they found their bodies like a week later or something dumped somewhere. And it's because the cartel thought they were CIA operatives, which they weren't. They were just people going down for cheap medication and medical things. And yeah, I mean, bonkers. Danny says there are beaches in the US. Yes, there is sand in the US. You can go and do that if you want. Peekaboo Cockatiel says my son would say the same thing, that it is safe. It gets worse every year. I don't know if it gets worse every year. I just think we hear a lot more about it. I bet you that 15, 20 years ago, it probably still happened. We just didn't hear as much about it. There's probably heaps of families from the early 2000s that could talk to you about how one of their family members got killed in Mexico. Gambler says, I thought it came out that there was drugs involved. In that one, the one I'm talking about, which one? The one where the people went across the border? Could be. I can't remember, but that was brutal. Whatever the situation was with it. Peekaboo Cockatiel says, it's scaring me right now with my son in Mexico. I'm sure he'll be alright. There are some safer places, right? Like some of the more touristy areas. Diane Marie says, used to go all the time, but not anymore. You check on him several times a day, especially when he's traveling. I'm sure he enjoys that. Let me see what else I can find about these two women. Let's hold on. Okay. So if we go to Fox 10 Phoenix, hey, Justin Lum. Nah, he didn't write this article. Says here, two elderly Arizona women were found shot and killed in an overturned vehicle in Sonora, Mexico. A stolen pickup truck and an AK-47 were found at the scene, believed to be linked to the murders. Yeah, we saw those photos. There's that pickup truck that they found, linked to the killings found nearby. And they said the Attorney General's office said investigators with the Mexican National Guard and the Army had found a stolen Ford F-150 and an AK-47 and ammunition believed to be linked to the murders. Security forces from 3 levels of government immediately initiated an operation to locate and arrest the criminal group responsible. Sure you did. That'll definitely stop it, like it has for the last 20 years. In June 2023, a California student doing a horticulture research in Sonora was found shot 7 times in an SUV. In December, 2 US residents and 1 US citizen were found shot by a gunman while traveling a highway in Sonora. One of the men was killed, according to the Arizona Daily Star. The state was once controlled by the infamous drug lord, is it Joaquin El Chapo Guzman, who was arrested in 2016 and is serving a life sentence in Colorado. I hope he likes the snowy weather. And 3 cartels continue to be at war in the area. The US State Department did not immediately respond to Fox News Digital's request for comment, but here is some photos. Let's look at the photos. Oh, this is all in Spanish, but I have a translation. Yeah, let's have a look. So there you go. There's that SUV, not SUV, that pickup truck. There's the magazines or cartridges or whatever you want to call them. There's that AK-47. That looks like a homemade, they call that a stock or whatever, or a butt. That looks like homemade, made out of wood. Same with that piece and that piece. So they probably bought it as either it's very old and it was broken and they repaired it, or it came as like an incomplete kit and then they made those parts for it. Because that just looks like someone made that in a shop It doesn't look like something you would get from a manufacturer, like, at all. It doesn't, yeah, it looks homemade. So either it was smuggled across and then they had to put those bits on it, or it was just very old and it needed to be replaced. Because this wouldn't look like that, or maybe it's just very old, but it looks a bit tatty. Doesn't matter, still killed 2 people. Don't matter what the gun looked like. It says here, hold on, I'll have to take you back here. Then I can read it. Says here, following a report generated on the highway where a vehicle with 2 women was attacked by armed subjects, the incident was reported at 10:30 a.m. on Friday, August 23rd, when 2 lifeless women were reported, and they were from Arizona, where they were headed, identified as a 72-year-old and an 82-year-old in a white Nissan Pathfinder, which had bullet impacts and overturned. Jeez. But they still can't tell us who did it. It's been like a couple of weeks and they're like 3 levels of government are trying to track these people down. Okay, who did it? Oh, yeah, we don't know. Can you tell us anything about the people who might have done this? No. What do they look like? Have no idea. Where'd they go? Not sure. When do you think you'll get them? I don't know. Some point. That's some point in the future. All right. Let's see if I can find anything else about this for you. Man shot. That's not the story we're doing. That's okay. Actually, I was going to show you something else to do with it, but it's okay. It's not really valuable. If I was their family, I would hope that eventually I would see action, but I wouldn't get my hopes up. Prescriptions are still cheaper in Mexico. Okay, I'm sure they are. A lot of them are counterfeit, though. Danny says, I have a friend who's about 6'5" and originally from Honduras. He was robbed in Mexico City. Damn. Yeah, Peekaboo, I hope your son will be okay. Yeah, but a lot of them are fake. I watched a documentary where cartel will make fake medication, then they go to pharmacists and say, you have to sell our product or we'll kill you. And they basically have to sell it. They sell it as genuine, even though it's fake. So a lot of people who travel from the US to Mexico to get medication that they need end up getting just fake medication, and it doesn't help their conditions. So you have to be very careful. Hold on a second. Let me grab our next story. All right. Let me get this up on the screen for you. Let me see if I can grab it. Come on, StreamYard. All right, here we go.
From your hometown news leader, News 4 begins with breaking news.
A Geneva County woman is charged with murder, and we're told by investigators she beheaded a man with whom she had been involved with. News 4's McKenna Nobles live in our newsroom. And McKenna, this is a really bizarre story, isn't it?
Yeah, Kinsley, it is. Just 3 days after Benito Guzman's body was found in a car behind a Fayette, Alabama home, his girlfriend faces murder charges. Court records show that investigators jailed 26-year-old Joselina Lopez this morning and charged her with Guzman's death. Sources tell us Guzman, with whom she had apparently been romantically involved, had been beheaded and other body parts removed with a chainsaw. Geneva County Sheriff Tony Helms said an official statement will be released from the State Bureau of Investigation. Authorities jailed Lopez without bond, with a hearing set next week to determine if a judge will grant her bond. Now, what was not immediately clear was when Guzman died, if he had passed before his beheading and other body parts were cut off. Sheriff Helms praised SBI for their assistance and referred other questions to the agency.
McKenna Nobles, that is a very bizarre case. Thanks so much.
It's
All right. Let me get some more information about this. Where is my link? When we get halfway through the show, I've got about 90 links open, so it gets a bit confusing. They said here, police knew it would be a tough case when they arrived at the Fedette community home earlier this week. They said they arrived at the complex and quickly looking that it was going to be a very difficult case and very complex, according to the Geneva County Sheriff. The body of Benito Guzman was found on Tuesday dismembered in a car at the home. In this case, his lover, Jocelina Lopez, was charged with murder. Sources say she allegedly dismembered him with a chainsaw and then put his dismembered body in a car. Police say they have never really had a case like this before in the community. Except for the case of Chad Brogdon a few years ago, a man found guilty of murdering his mother in Dale County and dismembering her. Police later located her body in Geneva County in the trunk of a burning car near the Chocotawhatchee River. I'm probably saying that wrong. Brogdon is now serving a life sentence in prison. Dismembering a body in an attempt to get rid of it again is something that is unusual. Also doesn't happen very often around here, according to the sheriff. They said they looked over any prior calls with either of them and that they were never called to the household for any DV-related incidents at all. The investigation into his death is still ongoing, and officials say it could be a while until it concludes, but when it does, it is possible that Lopez could face additional charges. The investigation is not over with and will continue, and it will be several months probably before everything is done and it gets to a position for trial, he said. If we get it tried within the year, I would be surprised. There you go. So they're saying it's a very long investigation. Currently, they're waiting on an autopsy to be conducted on his body so law enforcement can figure out the exact cause of death. A freaking chainsaw. I mean, wow. That is some bloody cartel kind of stuff. Let's see if we can find a photo of the victim. Here, there's a GoFundMe from his family, apparently. No, that's not it. I thought that was a GoFundMe from his family, but it was not. Oh, okay. There's a lot of people with the same name and a lot of GoFundMes. All right, let's see. We might have to go to al.com. All right, let's go here. They said an Alabama woman has been charged in the death of her husband, is accused of dismembering him after he was killed. They're saying she's being held in the jail without bond, pending an Aniah's law hearing set for next week. The investigation began when a co-worker became concerned with the fella's absence from work and notified the Geneva County Sheriff's Office, probably to do a welfare check. Sheriff investigators discovered his body Tuesday afternoon behind the couple's home on Grady Garner Road in Slocum. Sheriff Tony Helms brought in the State Bureau of Investigation to help with the probe. Helms confirmed that Guzman was dismembered after his death in an attempt to hide the body. He did not elaborate and said an autopsy was underway on Friday to confirm how he was killed. Charging documents against Lopez state Guzman was killed sometime between August 24 and 27. There you go. That's it. That's all we know. Like the sheriff said, if we got to trial within 12 months, he would be surprised. Reby says, you still haven't got him back, really? Oh, Reby. I hope you'll be okay. Oh, it is a long period of time. I hope they'll get back to you urgently, my friend. I hope they will. Yeah, I would call them and chase it up. I know sometimes we've had to do that, and they're like, "Oh yeah, we've got them sitting here. Oh, there's nothing wrong. We were supposed to call you and we never did." All right, let's see. Huh? That's unless they're just hammered. They might be. I know some communities up north, their pathology service providers, especially in Queensland, are really, really backlogged, and part of that's got to do with some of it's got to do with like they've had an overhaul of their systems from actually it ties into true crime all the way from DNA forensics all the way to pathology for state pathology because they screwed up a bunch of different things. Sorry, hopefully it's better now. But they had a huge inquiry into the medical system in Queensland, and they've had to put in place a whole bunch of new like procedures and stuff like that. So I do know that Queensland's got a big backlog of pathology and other medical type things. Okay. What time is it? 1:16. Okay. All right. I have a cold case that got solved, and I want to do that one. So hold on. Let me set that up. Okay. Let's see if I can get this one for you.
Human remains found 31 years ago have been identified as a man from South Carolina. The Johnson County Coroner's Office says DNA testing and genealogy work helped scientists determine the identity of the remains found in 1993 at what is now a golf course in Greenwood, Indiana. The relatives of Michael Benjamin Davis said they had lost contact with him in the late 1980s. The Johnson County Coroner's Office said they were able to locate family members after months of attempted contact. They sent those family members DNA kits to assist in confirming the identity. The Coroner's Office says the cause and manner of death have been ruled undetermined.
It's got a little bit of a rumble to it. I mean, it's a
I wouldn't think so. I know that when we've had bad results, I can tell you a story actually a couple of weeks ago. Mrs. Ping got some bad results and she had her blood test at 1 p.m. They called her at 3:30 and told her that she had to admit herself into hospital. So they can call very quick. Very quick. Pretty brutal. So I don't know what's going on. It's a little strange because I know when it's bad news, they call very fast because they want to get you in as soon as possible. All right, let me see. I don't know if that was Othram. Let me have a look. I didn't hear. Did it say what lab did the work? Let's go to AP News. See if they have a lab. It was Othram. It says here, Davis was born in Richland County, South Carolina in 1965, according to DNASouls.com, which works with police to assist in human identification cases. So that is Othram. They said here, relatives of Michael Benjamin Davis said they lost contact with him in the late 1980s. They said DNA testing and genealogy work helped scientists determine the identity of the remains found in 1993 at what is now a golf course in Greenwood, Indiana, the coroner's office said in a written statement on Sunday. Although this case has long been suspected of having been a homicide, the cause and manner of death have been ruled undetermined unless more information is discovered. So they're saying that they can't prosecute on it without more information right now. Yeah, a while back. Yeah, no, good work, Othram. Good work, Othram. Anytime they can wipe out a cold case, it is good news. It's one less mystery for Reddit to post about, though. One less thing for them to talk about. Okay. This is interesting. Hold on. Hold on. This might be interesting if I can find a better link for it. Okay. All right. This is interesting. So, a 21-year-old suspect arrested in connection with murder of Indianapolis man, right? They said here this was in 2020. A 21-year-old man arrested last week in connection with the shooting murder of an Indianapolis man that happened in late February. They said IMPD officers were dispatched to 5027 Eagles Watch Drive at 3:50 p.m. on the reports of shots fired on February 27. When police arrived, they located an unresponsive male who appeared to be suffering from a gunshot wound. They said EMS responded and pronounced the man Jeremiah Harden deceased at the scene. IMPD arrested a 21-year-old male for the alleged involvement with the case on Friday, March 6. Okay, but if we go back to today, and I'll show you this. The same case, when a confession to murder is not enough to take an admitted killer to trial, when a judge rules a suspect should never have been taken into custody in the first place, that's the dilemma that Alicia Harden faces in solving the murder of her son in February 2020. It was just a few weeks before the COVID pandemic swept the world, and police think 20-year-old Jeremiah Harden was in the 5000 block of Eagles Watch Drive to do a marijuana deal. Instead, the Pike High School grad was shot to death, his car rolling into a house in the quiet neighborhood. Witnesses saw two people run away. One of them dropped a cell phone, which led investigators 2 weeks later to an apartment where the cell phone owner allegedly lied about his identity. IMPD homicide detectives arrested the cell phone owner, a drummer, along with his roommate who had answered the door. While in custody, the roommate waived his right to remain silent and request for an attorney, and after several hours, as soon as police told him the drummer contradicted his account of the killing, the roommate confessed, claiming self-defense. 2 years later, the suspect's private attorney filed a motion to suppress his client's statement, arguing that police were after the drummer who owned the discarded cell phone and lied about his name, not the 22-year-old man who admitted he killed Harden. A judge agreed and the Marion County prosecutor dropped the case against the suspect and he was released from jail. Alicia Harden got the news in a phone call from the deputy prosecutor assigned to her son's case. She said, "I'm confused. I asked her, what happened to the witness? Why did they drop it? I thought he admitted to the crime." And she said, "Unfortunately, we could not hold him." She said, "This is all new. I've never experienced anything like this dealing with murder in my family, so I don't know how they handle things like that." A check of police and court records indicate neither the roommate nor the drummer have been in any trouble since the Harden killing. They said, a source told Fox 59 News that investigators had information that a third person may have been involved in the robbery, and Alicia came up with the name T-Money. As the case was dismissed, it could be reopened with new evidence or witness accounts. Anyone with information into the murder of Jeremiah Harden on February 27, 2020, in the 5000 block of Eagles Watch Drive can call Crime Stoppers at 317-262-TIPS and earn a reward of up to $1,000. It's very sad that there's only a $1,000 reward, but also the fact that they arrested a guy, he admitted to it, and then years later in court, it got thrown out. That is very sad for that's a lot of jerking around for the family, thinking that they're going to get this day in court, they're going to get trial for their loved one, and then they get nothing. They get told, "Oh, that didn't happen, and we couldn't make the confession work or whatever," and they have to start all over again. That must be very hard for their family. I can't imagine that happening. Then they go, "We found the killer." And then they're like, "Nah, we didn't. Sorry about that." All right. I think we're just about done. I think I've done all the stories that I wanted to do tonight. Let me just check my list of different stories for tonight. Maybe one more. Hold on. Da da da. Think they said they found, if you remember the Stephanie and Daniel Maynard, the people at the nudist resort, I think they said that they had located more human remains on the property. So, yeah, additional human remains were found at the home of a California man arrested last week for murder following the disappearance of his neighbors. On Sunday, investigators recovered additional remains during their fourth day of searching the Sparks property, located at Olive Dell Ranch Nudist Resort in Colton. A fire department search and rescue team found the remains in bags inside a concrete bunker located underneath Sparks' home. That's brutal. Hold on. Let's see if this is... Yeah, authorities said human remains were found in bags in a concrete bunker Friday under the home. They said the remains, which have not been identified, were found by a fire department confined space search and rescue team in bags in the concrete bunker under Michael Royce Sparks' home, who was arrested Thursday night after a search and SWAT team operation at his home. Sparks was found underneath the home, which was torn down by an armored sheriff department vehicle when the suspect was armed and barricaded inside. Redlands Public Information Officer Carl Baker said, adding that a tip from someone at the resort led to the suspect. Well, I'm glad they found them, but I still think there's more to the story about why this guy felt the need to go and murder his neighbors. I mean, we all have neighbors sometimes that we don't like, but that's taking it a little far. All right, let's see if there's an update in this video about it.
Redlands are now trying to determine if the human remains found at a property inside a nudist ranch are those of a couple who went missing last weekend. NBC4's Arielle is live outside the RV park in Redlands with more on what police are saying ahead of more excavation work at the site today. Annette, good morning.
Hey there, good morning to you, Michelle. Hello, everybody. And there have been several developments over the past 24 hours. We do know that police have had to suspend their search on the property due to structural safety concerns. However, they will be back in the next couple of hours with additional heavy equipment to continue their investigation. But at this point, Redlands police telling us that they do believe that 79-year-old Dan Maynard and his wife, 73-year-old Stephanie, are dead. The elderly couple went missing last week from their home at the Olive Dell Nudist Ranch, and now police are charging their neighbor with their murder. Investigators say 62-year-old Michael Sparks was hiding in a bunker inside his house, or under his house rather, when he was taken into custody. They say he was holding a rifle and attempted to shoot himself, but it misfired, and it was inside the bunker where they discovered bags of evidence, including human remains.
We're all praying for a great outcome, but it sounds doubtful. Sounds like it's going to be a very sad outcome.
And while police could not confirm the remains were those of the Maynards, they do believe, again, the couple is dead. Police say it's going to take some time to confirm the identity of the remains and, of course, the manner of death. But Michelle, I can tell you this is a murder investigation that has sent shockwaves through this nudist community out here. They tell us that the Maynards were a very happy couple involved in their community. They love playing poker and just doing all sorts of things with their neighbors. Now, in terms of the relationship that they had with Mr. Sparks, well, a lot of the folks out here tell us that it was, the type of relationship that anybody tends to have, a couple of disagreements here and there, but nobody ever imagined that things would end up like this. Now, in terms of Mr. Sparks, we've had other neighbors tell us that he was a bit of a loner. He kept to himself, was not very social. But again, nobody's seeing this coming at all.
It's a very crazy story. I'm sorry that there's no information on Cuddles, the dog. I've looked it up and I can't find anything whether they found any remains of the dog. I was just trying to see if there's anything in the news, but no, I searched everywhere trying to see if someone had an update for him, but the last thing I heard was what I read to you the other day. We don't have any word on Cuddles, their dog, so that they hadn't found anything or they don't know anything. So if they ever do, I will tell you because I want to know what happened to the dog too. Yeah, I can show you a photo of Mr. Cuddles, but I'm guessing if he was able to kill 2 humans and dump them under his home, I don't think he had any problems hurting a dog. So here's Mr. Cuddles. What a cute little dog. He looks very happy right there, very happy. You can tell that dog was full of character, I'm sure. But hopefully we'll get an update about Cuddles at some point. Cute puppy dog. All right, I think that's it. I hope you had a great long weekend. I hope you all did. And hold on, I want to thank our donation for tonight through Ko-Fi or Coffee or whatever you want to call it. That was Diane. I really appreciate that. That is very kind of you. And I had one come in the other day from Nicole and Sean. I appreciate both of you. That was very kind of both of you. And yeah, the people who support this channel, hey, you see how many times I'm on per week? It's directly related to those people who are able to help out. They're the people who are able to keep me on 7 days a week. So I appreciate that. Karen Canada says our local news story of an elderly lady having a dog stolen from her while she was out walking it. I heard a story the other day. A person had a dog stolen from their residence when the dog was a puppy. And then like 9 years later, they got a call from the vet who told them that the dog had been handed in after being found on the side of the road. And they knew from the microchip in the ear or in the shoulder or whatever, and it had their details on it. And when they went to go pick up the dog remembered them and was like really excited to see them and was like, oh, it's my mom and dad. And they paid for all the vet bills and were able to take the dog home. But unfortunately, between the time that they had the dog and when it came back to the vet, it's now an elderly puppy dog. So it's had a very long life somewhere. They believe that it was probably taken to do breeding, that it was probably taken to make more baby puppies, and that they probably dumped it when it couldn't make any more dogs. So when it was no use to them anymore, they just dumped it. And that's why it was found and taken to a vet. But they believe it was a part of a puppy factory. So pretty awful story, but the family was happy just to see the dog again. So yeah, 9 years later. I heard of a cat that was like 12 years later in a completely different state. And it was like it used to live in Sydney and it ended up in WA. So on the other side of the country. So I don't know how that happens, but thank you, Rachel. I appreciate it. Hey, I will see you guys tomorrow. Tomorrow, we're back to normal. 9 p.m. show, then a late show. So tune in for that at 9 p.m. Eastern. And then, yeah, we'll have a late show too tomorrow. Rachel says people can be horrible, probably a puppy mill. Yeah, I think so. Good night, Angela. I'll see you guys later. Hey, thanks for all tuning in tonight. The people who leave comments or the people who like or thumbs up the stream, thank you very much for all your efforts in trying to help the channel. I very much appreciate it. And I'll see you tomorrow. Good night. Bye.